Welcome to Continia Document Capture webinar. My name is Mikkel Reisbull. I am the Document Capture Senior Product Specialist at Continia Software. Today we are going to experience how easy and quickly an upgrade of Document Capture is completed. In addition to the upgrade itself, we will also take a few minutes to look at the upgrade process in general. Before we get started, let's see what we have on today's menu. Our session today is based on our demo portal that is available to all partners. We'll be using NAV 2016 with Document Capture 406, and also a on-premise OCR service is installed. During the webinar, we will experience short periods of waiting times when importing objects and components, and also when starting up services and programs. As you are probably aware, this is a natural part of any NAV upgrade process. The most important subject is, of course, the upgrading of Document Capture. A few services and components are to be updated, along with NAV objects and the website, of course. We'll also be taking a look at how to upgrade from older versions of Document Capture and NAV. And as Christina told you in the introduction, we'll go through the questions that you have submitted during the webinar. An upgrade of Document Capture is typically easy and quickly completed. If the customer's database contains customizations in some of the objects that are to be updated, the necessary object merge must be completed by a qualified NAV developer prior to the upgrade. In today's webinar, we'll be using a database without customizations in the Document Capture objects. Let's get the show up and running, taking a closer look at how easy it is to upgrade Document Capture. The complete program package is already downloaded from the Continia partner portal. In the package, all the necessary components to perform a successful upgrade are available. One of the most important files is the upgrade guide. Let's take a quick look at the document. The upgrade guide describes step by step how an upgrade of Document Capture is implemented. Please note that at the top of the document it is stated that Document Capture must be updated to version 406 before upgrading to 407. To see what versions of Document Capture is installed, simply click on the About Document Capture, which is found on the menu item Document Capture Setup in the Program Setup menu. Or you can check the version list of the objects in the development client. Instructions to upgrade from previous versions are easily accessed via the specified link. The first thing to be done is to update the NAV license. This is done to ensure that all the necessary objects are included in Document Capture also exist in the license. Then we check the NAV version. It is important to clarify whether the database is updated with a cumulative update from Microsoft. Later in the upgrade, we must choose the Document Capture object package that suits the level of the release level of the NAV objects. The version of Document Capture also affects how the upgrade process should be handled. In the version list of the objects, the current Document Capture version is specified. Here it's clear to see that we are working with version 406, which means that we can proceed with the next step in the upgrade process. We will now start the actual upgrade of Document Capture, following the upgrade wizard step by step. The first actual part of the upgrade process is to prepare the existing data in Document Capture. This is done by importing a certain object package. Let's find it. It's called pre-update, and it must match the current nav version. The object file is located on the folder Objects in the installation package. Takes a second. And I've updated it. Import the package. Yes, please. This is normal procedure when importing objects, of course. The object package includes a job that is activated from Document Capture setup. The function is called upgrade data to a latest version. Let's run that. The update must complete without errors, just like it did now. Now it's time to do something about the OSR engine. In today's session, we have a pre-installed on-premise OSR engine that also needs to be updated. When using Cloud OCR, this part of the process can be skipped. The list of services is opened, and we locate the API File Reader service. Let's stop that service. I will also stop the Document Capture service. Let's go back to the installation package once again, and then we double-click on the Setup Exe. This will open our installation menu. We choose, of course, to install the Document Capture service. And wait a few seconds for the installation to complete. Please remember to verify that the specified file path are identical with the Document Capture setup. After installation is complete, we just return to the list of services and start both the API service and the Document Capture service. Updating API File Reader is, in today's example, not required, and the installation can be skipped. But when upgrading from older versions, I speak of really old versions, you might have to do that. That's all specified in the upgrade guides. The next step towards the goal is to update the components for Document Capture, both the client components and the server components. For NAV 2013, 15, 16, and 2017, the update is very quickly completed. For information about updating components in the NAV 2009 environment, we will return later. First thing we need to do is to open the NAV administration client. With a single click, we will stop the service. And I minimize the client, and we'll go back to the installation program. Here we select the server components and choose the right NAV version. It will take a few seconds also. There we are. And then we install the client components. Also for the same version, of course. It's only necessary to install the client component on the server if the server has a NAV Windows client installed that is used in connection with Document Capture. In today's webinar, all services and applications are running on the same machine, and that's why the client components are installed here. Remember to subsequently to install the client components on the end-user machine, terminal servers, and also C2 servers. We start the service once again, and we are one step closer to the goal. Now it's the time for the easy part of the upgrade, import of the Document Capture objects. Before the objects are imported, it is important that we are certain what NAV version is installed. The version of NAV determines which object package we have to choose. It's also important to know whether the system has been enhanced with a cumulative update. Today we work with the NAV 2016 RTM edition. Let's go find a object package. In the installation package under the folder Objects, several FOB files are available. We'll choose version 9, also known as NAV 2016. Yes, okay, and in cases where the customer objects contains customizations, the Document Capture objects must be merged with the customizations that the customer wants to keep. The upgrade today is completed in a database with clean, unadjusted objects, and therefore I just click Replace All and press OK. Because the upgrade affects the data structure, it may be necessary to select false when asked about the synchronization scheme. Data in those tables is taken care of via the previous pre-upgrade package. And now the import takes a few seconds. The waiting time, of course, depends on how much hardware you have put into the server. Yeah, there we go. And it completed. Yes. It's always recommended to compile all objects to ensure that client components and other parts are correctly installed. So let's do that. I'll just select the Document Capture files, objects, and then we combine those. It will take a minute or so. While we are waiting for the compilation to complete, I will talk a bit about the new edition, the new hotfix that we released for Document Capture. We just released, or about to in a few minutes, a brand new package for Document Capture. We call it Document Capture Hotfix 1. It will be version 4.07.01. It contains a lot of bug fixing, of course, but also new things like the documentation part is greatly enhanced. We have split up a lot of documents in smaller documents and added more information about every single function in Document Capture. Also documents that you can give to your customers that will help them in their daily use. And there we are, no errors, that's nice. Final task is to compile the menu suites, making sure that the general menu structure in that is correct, of course. That takes a couple of seconds. That's it. Earlier in the process, we imported a pre-update package and activated the update data function. Now the last update in NAV is to be implemented. It's time for the post-update function to be run. So let's find the package. The update package called post-upgrade that fits the current NAV version is imported. It's only one object, replace that. Okay. And then we will open the nav Windows client. Because the service was restarted, it will take a second or a couple of seconds to open the nav client. But you are probably familiar with that already. Yes, thank you for that. And you have to activate the upgrade function from the DOM Capture setup page, just like we did the first time. There we are. Upgrade data to latest version. The update must finish without errors, and let's see if it does. And there we are. No errors. It's successfully completed. That's nice. Thank you for that. Now we're close to the finish line. The only thing missing is an update of the web portal. In the upgrade guide, it is explained that the new website must be created. This is not necessary, and we will see another way of updating the website. First, we need to create some web services, getting the new features published. It's done via DOM Capture Setup. Just click the button, yes, please. The next step is to update the folder with the site itself. So let's go back to that. I'll locate my website. There we are, with the content. Before the existing site is overwritten, it makes sense to back up the folder containing the container portal. So I'll do that now. And that takes a few seconds again. And I open a new folder. Now let me start with removing everything except the app data. And then I go over to my DOM Capture 407 folder. And then I have the new website. And I will copy everything except the app data folder over to the website folder. There we are. The last step is to export the users to the new site. So let's try that. Just press the export users in the continue user setup. And it takes a couple of seconds for the Internet Information Server to load the pages and start up the communication. So we have to wait for that. Two users are exported, the two users that have a list. So that's a nice thing. That was it. The website is updated faster than Usain Bolt completes the 400 meters. And I get a notice that the SMP server setup is not completed. Thank you for that. I need to do that later. The upgrading of DOM Capture is hereby completed. Now we just need to test that everything works as expected. With a quick look at the DOM Capture menu, we see that the menu has been redesigned. It's nice and neat. If I navigate to the document journal, you should in a second see that we're able to view the document, the list of the documents in the left part of the screen. On the right hand side, we have a document presented nicely. We must also check that the web portal behaves properly. So I will open the web page and have to wait for the service to start up load the pages, generate the views. We'll give it a few seconds. Login is completed. Just need to view the list of documents to see that it works. And there we are. Little click on the invoice and we should see the invoice card. There we are, the left hand side with the header and the lines, and right hand side, there we are, color image of the invoice. It couldn't be better, it's just amazing. We crossed the finish line in a record-winning time. The gold medal is secured. We have just completed an upgrade of Double Capture 406 to 407 in a NAV 2016 environment. What in the process is different if the client database contains an older version of Double Capture? Let's take a look at that. If you are in a situation where you need to upgrade from version 405 or earlier, then Double Capture must be brought up to version 406 before upgrading to 407. At the top of the upgrade guide, there's a link to Continue Help Center, where detailed upgrade procedures for older versions are described. Here they are. Besides the upgrade instructions, Continue Help Center contains a lot of good tutorials and articles for Double Capture and other Continue products. You'll find documents and manuals for installation, setting up, and other good solutions to the most frequently asked questions. More articles are constantly added to the Continue Help Center. Since the update of Double Capture server and client components for NAV 2009 at some point differs from other NAV versions, we also need to hear a few words about how the update process is handled when dealing with NAV 2009. The upgrade guide contains a detailed description of how to update the server and client components. There we are. Here's a separate section for NAV 2009. On the NAV server, which is the machine that handles the NAV service, we must remember to update the two components. For installations with NAV 2009, it is important to follow the guide precisely. Otherwise, the old components files are not overwritten with the new version. First, we stop all the NAV services and change the startup on the service to manual. This applies for all NAV 2009 services running on the same server. Then we restart the machine and install the components. After that, all the NAV service can be restarted, and at the same time, we change the startup parameter to automatic startup. So, what have we been through today? We completed a full upgrade of Double Capture 406 to the latest version 407 in a few minutes. Then we looked at how the process of upgrading from an older version of Double Capture is handled. And finally, we put some words on how the upgrade in a NAV 2009 environment differs from a modern NAV.